Hello everyone, Keza here today, bringing you UOR Boss Locations. This video will go over the current boss spawning locations, how difficult those bosses are, what they might drop, and what kind of slayers you might want to take for them. The first boss on the list is the Harpy boss. I always butcher the name, so just call it the Harpy boss for now. There is no slayer for this boss. It's quite easy. It usually has 700 to 1,000 hit points. You can take it on with a lot of different builds. I'm using an Aussie tank here. This is definitely one of the most common bosses you can find. At just this one location at Kavadas level 1, I found it as many as 4 times in an hour. You can also find it at Kavadas level 2 and randomly in the Oklo dungeon every once in a while. It has a chance, 1 out of 4 chance of dropping peck meat and then some random magic items. And if you want to farm feathers, there's really no better location than killing tons and tons of harpies to get this thing to spawn. Next up is the 3 troll bosses, starting here with the forest troll, who is located just south of Sacrifice Shrine. There's a group of 3 trolls that spawn there. Kill them for a while and the forest troll should spawn eventually. Another monster that has a 1 out of 4 chance at peck meat, and he's not too hard. He has a really harsh melee attack, but you can just poison him, hit him for a while, hit and run if you need to, if you don't have a way to tank him or provo him. Definitely one of the easier bosses there is, and like all other bosses, if you kill lots and lots of this one type of boss, you'll eventually get a monster statue of that boss. And that'll be for pretty much everything I'm showing here, including this next one, the mountain troll. This one is in a mountain pass that's kind of northwest of the Shame entrance. It's in a mountainy area. Anyways, there's 3 trolls that spawn there. Kill them repeatedly, and you should also get the mountain troll to spawn. His melee attack is not as hard as the forest troll, but he is a caster, so be aware of that. And then in a similar way, the cave troll next is also a caster, but neither the cave or the mountain troll are very difficult casters. It just means they're gonna, dispel and cure poison, but not much more than that. Neither one is very difficult, easy for an Aussie tank or a lot of other simple builds to take on. And the cave troll is located kind of at the bottom of the Hidden Valley area, which is west of Trinsic. Now, I was going to go around and farm up all these bosses, get them to spawn, show them that way, but I just don't have time for that. So I'm going to go around and show them to you this way. This location is for the Arctic Overlord Mage. If you get them to spawn, you just kill these 3 ogres and they should spawn eventually. They always have a platinum coin, chance at peck meat, chance at the monster statue, all that good stuff. And this is the only place that boss spawns, even though there are other Arctic Overlord spawning locations. The Ogre Mage, as you might expect, is a caster, so be ready for that. Not easy with a non-tamer character. But moving right along to Destard as our next location. This one is a double feature, having both the Azura Dragon and the Wyvern Monarch. Both are pretty difficult. The Azura Dragon, you're going to need something to tank it with. I don't even know if you can provo it at all. In addition to the 2 bosses that spawn on level 1 here, you also have a chance to get a Crimson Drake to spawn if you're clearing all of this stuff you're seeing, which there's lots of. And then also down on Destard level 3, if you can manage to get to level 3 without getting killed by a bunch of random stuff like I almost do, there is the Ancient Wyrm, which spawns the boss, the Elder Wyrm. And gosh, the Ancient Wyrms themselves are very difficult to kill. I mean, even using tamers, they can be pretty tough. And the Elder Wyrm is just insanely difficult, one of the most difficult bosses in the game. Definitely need some very solid vetting macros to fight him. Always peck meat, always plat, But moving right along, down to the bottom level of Deceit for the Lich Lords. You can spawn the Dark One down here. This is actually one of 3 locations you can spawn it. It's this one. There's the Ancient Liches in Khaldun, which I'm not showing because I'd rather not go there if I don't have to. And then there's the location that is returned in Fire Dungeon after being gone for so long. That spawn has changed a lot actually. I tried farming it to get a Dark One there for maybe an hour at 2 separate times, but I couldn't get one to spawn. Anyhow, the Dark One themselves is another higher level caster. You know, it's the boss Lich. Definitely very harsh spells, really high magic resist. You know, again, peck meat, plat, monster statue, all the normal stuff you expect with the bosses. Next up is a very popular location, the Blood Elementals of Shame. This is way down in the bottom of Shame. The Blood Elementals spawn all over the place in this section with the bridge, and you can also run way west to another section of Shame over here where 2 additional Blood Elementals spawn. Killing any or all of these Blood Elementals will get you a chance at the Diseased Blood Elemental, which is the boss here. Always has plat, tons of gold, chance at a monster statue, but no peck meat on this one. At least not that I know of. I've never seen it drop it. But yeah, so Diseased Blood Elemental, very difficult, higher level caster. As with most of the higher bosses, a tamer is recommended. You can do it with a Provo Dexer, but yeah, you don't have to worry about failing and then it nuking you and you getting killed if you have a tamer there to handle it. Next up is the Ifrits in Fire, and they will spawn the Ifrit Sultan if you kill them a bunch. This location, I mean, it's mostly a gold farming location because you will not get peck meat here. The Ifrit Sultan's pretty uncommon and he just has a plat and a chance at statue. You also can farm up tons of demon bone armor if you want that. And as you can see, it's a short run down to the Fire Liches. Now moving on to the next boss, which is the Beholder, coming from the Elder Gazers. Both the Ifrit Sultan and the Beholder are kind of like mid-level bosses. They're casters, they're not that difficult. You can kill them with a whole bunch of builds. But yeah, this is the Elder Gazer room, located in Shame, not a very far run from the Blood Elemental spawn. But typically you can only work one at a time unless you're doing a whole bunch of boxes and you're really good at that. But moving along to the Executioners in Wrong. So this build, or this location, you can do with more variety of build because people don't usually like bringing their tamers here due to all the traps. Typically you come here and blade spirit the heck out of the place or do a bunch of provo or even run it with a dexer, so not the most difficult, but watch out for the Grand Visor's melee. He is a melee boss. It's very hard. Has no peck meat, but very nice axe as a consolation prize. Rare axe, you're not going to get it every drop. Moving right along, the Ogre Lord Mage is very similar to the Arctic Ogre Lord Mage. Just another mid-level caster. Easy to farm in the middle of Despise. That's if the champ spawn there is not active, then it's really annoying to farm him. But the Ogre Mage always has plat, has plenty of gold, chance at peck meat, chance at monster statue, all that good stuff. Now if you're looking for a difficult boss, this next one is for you. Hithloth Balrons can spawn the Purveyor of Darkness, and this guy is a monster. He will destroy your tames and destroy you so fast, but if you get some people together, go after him, he can go down quickly enough. It's not all about having huge amount of hit points, he just does huge amounts of damage. But yes, another good one for plat, peck meat. I should mention, some monsters like these super bosses will drop a plat for everyone doing over a certain amount of damage. I believe it's him, the Azura Dragon, the Elder Wyrm, and maybe one or two others, but yeah, some bosses will drop multiple plat for people doing damage. Next up at Tirathian Keep is the boss, the Tirathian Infiltrator. They will spawn if you clear all the stuff in the massive swamp here, as well as some of the stuff in like the ruined looking area right above it. But yeah, kill a whole bunch of that stuff. Usually it's best to do this with a Provo Dexter or Provo Mage, just because there's so much poison from these guys that tamers have a bit of a hard time. And as you might imagine, the boss there is definitely a magic poisoning, difficult boss to fight. But moving on to T2A locations, the first one is the Orphidian Queen. You actually don't have to kill all the Orphidians here, you just go upstairs to the Orphidian Monarch. And they spawn on the first or second level here, but there's one that always spawns in the middle. You just kill that one over and over and over, and the queen should spawn. Oh, and both the queen and the infiltrator from the last location both have a chance at statue and peck meat and all that good stuff. If I miss any information in making this video, you can always look up all the information on these bosses on the website, as I might miss one or two. I'm not really scripting this. Anyways, make your way to Titan Valley, Cyclops Valley, whatever you want to call it. It is the best location to farm gold in general in T2A, and also it has the Cyclops spawn, which is a popular boss, another good one for getting peck meat. It is a melee boss, easier. You can mass blade spirit it, provo it, kill it with a tamer. It's not a very difficult boss. And getting it to spawn is pretty profitable as well. I tried to get this one to spawn with one of my builds, had no success, but it's a location I think everyone should try at least once. If you've never been there, you can get there by running straight north from Delucia and stay towards the west. You'll kind of find your way there. I know T2A is awful to navigate. I'm sorry, no one can do anything about that, but good location. Another good T2A location with a boss is the Gargoyle spawn. If you don't have a ruin to that one, it's even more annoying to find. You have to go through a bunch of random valleys and stuff in the northern desert of T2A to find it. Just a bunch of gargoyles spawning on top of like a plateau. Kill all of them, and an obsidian gargoyle may spawn there. That one is another one with a good chance at peck meat. He is a caster, but not the most difficult, kind of like a mid-level caster. And until somewhat recently, the obsidian gargoyle and all these gargoyles didn't even spawn outside of the Tamer quest, which also has a number of other bosses, such as the land shark and the two-headed behemoth, which are other bosses that drop peck meat, but they only spawn within the Tamer quest, so I'm not really going to go over them. This is more about UOR Boss Locations / hotspots you can farm overall. I'm sorry if I missed a boss or two or missed information about certain bosses. Covering all of that in detail would take far too long, and I want to keep this video under 15 minutes, so kind of going quickly. But anyways, yeah, general idea, go to a location, kill a bunch of the monsters there, and you should get a boss to spawn, which is how you get, good plat, peck meat, possible monster statues from them. Some people obsessively go after these bosses for the statues, which means you're looking at killing, maybe hundreds of them, which is crazy. It just takes so much time. But hey, if you want to do that, you can do that. I also wanted to make this video just because it focuses slightly on the troll bosses and the harpy boss, which you can kill in your first 2 weeks of playing here if you know what you're doing. If you don't, it might take you a month to warm up to farming some of these bosses, but in any case, it's something you can do. Get some starting plat, get some peck meat if you're looking to bond your pets early on, and something to keep in mind while you're doing any of your farming for bosses. It can be very random. You can farm for hours and hours, and it just seems like there's no boss that spawns there. You're doing something wrong. And then another day you show up and you get 2 of them to spawn back to back. It's just, that's how it is. But that is all I have time for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, maybe learned a thing or two about UOR Boss Locations. Hopefully I see you around sometime in game. Later.